Have you ever been in this situation? You're writing a report, playing a game, and suddenly, bam, the screen turns blue with a bunch of cryptic white codes, and your computer just dies. This is the legendary blue screen of death, the nightmare every Windows user knows too well. But look at the other side. Many Linux servers stay running for hundreds of days without a single reboot and never blue screen. Same hardware. Both are operating systems. Why is the gap so huge? To understand this, we first need to know one concept: the kernel. The kernel is the heart and brain of an operating system. It talks directly to hardware, manages memory, schedules programs, and controls devices. Think of the kernel as a big house, with all the core departments inside. Windows uses an architecture called the monolithic kernel. What does that mean? All the departments in this big house, file management, memory scheduling, device drivers, network communication, are all crammed together in one space. The upside: they're close, communication is fast, performance is high. The downside: if one department fails, the whole house collapses. For example, you install a third-party graphics driver. This driver is like an electrician in the house. In Windows' monolithic kernel, this electrician lives right in the main control room. Once this electrician makes a mistake, like wiring something wrong, the whole house explodes. And you get that classic blue screen. All those blue screen codes you've seen: page underscore fault underscore underscore unpaged underscore area, IRQL underscore not underscore less underscore. In plain English, some department inside the kernel messed up. And because Windows crams so much stuff into the kernel, the chance of something going wrong is extra high. Statistics show that about 60% of blue screens are caused by hardware failures, and another 30% or so are driver issues. Either way, in Windows' monolithic kernel, both hardware and drivers run in kernel space. That means, if they make a mistake, the entire system has to go down with them. The most typical example is the 2024 CrowdStrike incident. A security software driver update went wrong at the kernel level, directly causing millions of Windows computers worldwide to blue screen, grounding airlines and paralyzing hospital systems. One small driver error, and the entire kernel house blew up. What about Linux? Although Linux also belongs to the monolithic kernel family, it incorporates many design from microkernels. The key point: Linux uses a highly modular design. Although all departments are in the same big house, each has its own independent room, and they communicate by passing notes, message passing. So when a driver in Linux fails, it only blows up its own room, without bringing down the whole house. The system will try to reload that module, or simply isolate it. Other departments keep doing their jobs. The computer keeps running. No reboot needed. To sum it up, for kernel architecture, Windows use monolithic, so everything crammed together, but Linux use monolithic plus highly modular. If driver crash, Windows whole system blue screens. Linux only that module is affected. Reboot required. Windows must reboot, but Linux usually not needed. That's the core reason why Linux is more stable. That's why over 90% of servers worldwide run Linux. Bank backends, cloud computing centers, video streaming servers. These places can't afford 3 blue screens a day. What they need is a rock-solid system. Interestingly, Microsoft itself has realized this problem. In 2025, Microsoft announced plans to move security tools out of the Windows kernel and run them in user mode. In plain English, stop cramming so many people into the big house. And you might not know, the EU once required Microsoft to open kernel access to third-party security software developers. That's like giving the keys to the big house to a bunch of strangers. No wonder things go wrong. Of course, Windows isn't without its merits. Its strengths are performance and compatibility, making it more user-friendly. Linux's forte is stability and security. One is fast but prone to trips. The other is steady and never falls. Which one do you prefer? I'm StickGoTech, breaking down complex tech for you.
See you next time.